Oh, nope, my watch is.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Steve and John here on Friday Live and Mail Call. All right, let's go run down who all's here. All right, we got Lee from Layout in the Loft, JD, Grandpa Rails, or John number, I think he's John number one. All right, and then John number two, John from Schuylkill River Valley. Then we got CE and E John, who's John at the infinity level, at the C and EI, whatever.
I'm 7. I'm number 7.
You're 7. I thought somebody else was. No, I thought so. I thought John. No. Mystic, I think, is number 7. And who happens to be here as well? We have John Bannicky or Banicki here as well.
Hi,
who else
John.
here? Who else here? Who else here? We just got a lot of Johns.
You can never have enough, John.
Anyway. Yep. We used to tease my dad that he liked to visit every John from coast to coast and write reviews. Thank you, John number 2, for the audio check. Appreciate that as well. I hope everybody's having a great Friday so far. Yeah, JD, I thought you were number 1. So, you're number 1 in my book, JD. That's all that matters. I got a couple trains running. I got the Santa Fe Super Chief, and I got one of 2 of my commuter trains going. So. Fantastic Friday. Hey, that's a good idea. Somebody needs to use that as a live stream name. Fantastic Friday.
Yes.
As alluded to on the cover slide for today's stream, I've got. I think everybody at one point or another has bought some Kadee 208 washers to help adjust coupler height. Through adjusting the truck height. They're insulated washers as well. I've been going through them left and right because as I put together the sleeves, the brass tubing sleeves, the last couple of weeks I've been showing the lighting project as I'm lighting up all these cars. I'm trying to find an easy one of these to do. I'm not seeing it. Anyway, all right. Pulling these wheel sets apart and then dropping on a brass tube. All right. But in order to help keep it from shorting out, because the inner mountain wheel sets don't have much of an insulator, I drop on one of these 208s between the brass sleeve or tube and the wheel set when I put it back together. All right. And this is a Walters wheel set. And what that means is it doesn't have the insert that the Intermountain ones have. Okay. So when you put it back together, it doesn't automatically gauge properly. And you have to get the wheel set gauge out. And I got my NMRA gauge. All right. And then slide them together. And get the spacing proper. Which is not always an easy thing. I always get too much, too little. Intermountain wheels are much better. To gauge properly. Okay. So anyway, I got it back together. But anyway, there's, you probably can't see it, but there's one of these 208s in there. Getting back to what I was getting at. Now these 208s, this pack, and I think there's 48 to this. And if you look it up, if you're going to the hobby shop or a trade show or something, you can probably pick them up fairly cheap. All right. But they're still going to be somewhat expensive because they got the name Kadee on them.
Of course.
And, you can get them on Amazon and the fully landed cost. And that's what I always look at, is landed cost. And what that means is, what's the cost to get them home? All right. So it includes shipping if you're paying shipping. And, don't be fooled. You got Prime, they say free shipping. That shipping's not free. The price of the item is jacked up. Okay? They got to cover shipping in one fashion or another. Every business does. It's just all marketing. All right? Whether shipping is included in the price or whether it's an tack-on extra charge. You got to be careful on eBay as an example. You have somebody with these great prices, and then you find out it's $30 shipping. So always be mindful of that. I always look at landed costs. So Kadee's on Amazon, these 208s on Amazon, would run at 17 cents a piece. Okay. Now, you can look up red insulated washers with the same measurements as the Kadee's, which are inner diameter 0.125 inches, outer diameter 0.250 inches, and thickness of 0.015. Now, I didn't find anything that was exact to that, but I did find the 6 millimeter by 0.5 millimeter red fiber washers. A pack of 1,000.
1,000, no, man.
For less than a penny a piece. A lot less than a penny a piece. Okay, and that's fully landed cost to my doorstep. So, I've got probably a lifetime supply.
Well, maybe you ought to put that link.
Hey, Brian.
Put that link in your.
I will. Yes, I will add that link after the stream.
Okay.
To the description. There's Brian from the Angels Modeling and Railways. Brian does some great work. He had a layout he built called Nam 68, meaning Vietnam 1968, and it was a little layout, but really cool looking. He does some great modeling. Thanks for joining us, Brian. Hey, and there's Mr. Kyle Stevens.
Morning, Kyle.
So anyway, that was my big buy this week, and
wow.
I've completed one trade, the Burlington Zephyr, and as far as lighting it up, I've added lighting to 4 cars of the Burlington Blackhawk, right, which is the old heavyweight car. I have now prepped, and I'm in the process of prepping. I prepped the 2 heavyweight cars for my Burlington Excursion steam train. And what I mean there is the axles are done, the wires off the axles are done, the lighting's in, and the wiring to and from the extra resistors all in. All I need to do is, once the circuit boards arrive, is solder in those circuit boards, and it'll be ready to go too. I'm currently working on the my Northern Pacific, combined Northern Pacific and Great Northern, North Coast Limited / Empire builder, and doing the same thing, prepping it. I think I've got three cars done, and I got a fourth here on the bench that I'm going to be working on. They all have metal wheels, and I still have a number of metal wheels left. I think I have enough to do 7 more cars. So that after I get the North Coast Limited done, I have 2 other passenger trains on the layout currently that I'll need to do, and one of them is this commuter train, the second commuter train, the one that currently has the Rock Island. Let's see, go by behind me, the red Rock Island bi-level car right there, and I'll have to get it prepped, and the Santa Fe Super Chief.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have 3 more trains, passenger trains. The Union Pacific City train. You can call it the City of Los Angeles or City of San Francisco, either one. Then I have the Pennsylvania Broadway Limited, and I have Baltimore and Ohio Capital Limited. I did order enough circuit boards to be able to do all of them. Okay, and still have enough circuit boards left over to do my cabooses. Hey, Ray! Mr. Burleson? Oh, and Mr. Anthony Dodge. That's a pretty neat looking railjet, Anthony. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I caught the replay. And pulls those other cars, your other coaches, rather well, too, from what I could see. So, I'm waiting for some Steves to show up. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have a Stevens, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
Kyle counts.
Yeah, okay.
Kyle counts. Unless his middle name's John. Please, Kyle, tell me your middle name is not John.
It's a good name. It's a good name.
Yeah. Now, here's the one drawback so far that I have. I got tons and tons. I'm just, this is just a portion of the metal and plastic wheels, Athearn wheels that I've replaced with metal wheels. Y'all may recall that when I was up in passing through Iowa back in July, I stopped at Caboose Stop and had a really nice visit with Carol. And one of the items I picked up there was a 100 Intermountain 36-inch wheel sets. I've blown through every one of those. Every single one. And guess what? I still need about 100 more. Hey, Dwight. So I'm going to have to call Carol up and see if she can, I've got a few items sitting in my box up there that I've picked up off of shows since July. And I'll order up another 136-inch wheels and get all that stuff shipped out. So.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still wanting to work on all my gondolas I have, but I still have that problem with my Epson printer that won't use aftermarket cartridges. So I still haven't figured out how to reset that programming back prior to their little patch they put in to disable my printer. Yeah, wasn't happy with that.
Just get some Epson printer cartridges.
Well, yeah, but I got brand new printer cartridges that are in there that I haven't even used. and
Oh,
I don't want to waste them too. Plus, I'm
that's true.
unemployed
That's true.
again and don't have a lot of extra money,
Ooh,
but I'll figure it out.
cool. Cool, cool, cool.
And then of course I got to
So,
find my white back uh, decal paper. I know I've got it. I got it before I left Florida, so it's packed away someplace. Probably someplace where it's
so
supposed to be.
is it white? Is it white back film, or is it just the paper is white instead of blue?
No, it's white back film because you can't
Well, that's
print
good. Can't
white.
print white.
So what I'm
Correct.
gonna do
Unless
is
you have a
go.
very expensive printer.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is go into an Excel spreadsheet and do black boxes with white letters in it. So when it runs through the
Right.
printer, it'll print the black and I'll have white numbers. And I'll just use them
And
like patches.
I did not know they even had white film decal sheets. I'll have to look at that.
Yes, I did. I did pick some up, and I think also, Steve, I saw some at Hobby Lobby that they had white back decal paper. So,
Well, see, John was born in, or I don't know if born, but lived in Florida, grew up here. So he wanted to get out.
yeah, I was
Actually,
tired of it.
he's
Um,
got a granddaughter up there in Tennessee, and that's why they moved.
yeah, and she's like 5 minutes away from where I'm living. So, I moved to Florida in 1969 with my family. So I lived there except for my time in the military. I lived there for 52 years and it had just grown up so much. Um, you go up the US 19, which is like the coastal highway, and for 5 counties, it's solid build up cities and towns that you used to be able to see separation between them as you went up, but now it's five counties straight.
It's all the way. You can go down to Venice, Florida, and from there along the coast, all the way up, like you say, to what they call the Nature's Coast, which is up by Crystal Springs. All right, we're talking, shoot, 100 plus miles maybe, and it's nothing but you know development. So, and
Yeah.
it's just as bad or worse even on the East Coast, on the Atlantic coast.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So,
That's solid. But no, I was getting tired of the heat all the time, and I had a couple days last week when I went out to mow my big yard. I had to put a sweatshirt on because it was cold outside. So I don't mind that a bit. And I'll tell you, my largest electrical bill, heating or cooling a house that's 3 times the size of my
yeah,
house in Florida was only $197.
yeah. John Banky mentions the cost of insurance. I
Hmm.
mentioned to John that my insurance cost me $7,000. My property insurance cost me homeowners $7,000 a year because my roof is over 15 years old. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's
Hmm.
ridiculous, and it's the Tico, which is our electric company here, uh, raised their rates 40% this year.
Oh my word.
40%. So my wife and I are considering going somewhere else.
Yeah, and
Mystic, no state income tax really doesn't matter to me on a fixed income retirement. I don't make enough to have a whole lot of tax taken. And if you think the states don't get their money in another fashion, they do. All right. We may not have a state income tax, but it's 9+% sales tax. All right.
oh, it's gone up.
So I don't know. It's a lot higher than a state typically without income tax.
Hmm.
You know, Tennessee is that way too. Tennessee doesn't have an
Tennessee's
income tax,
Tennessee's 9%
but
tax on everything, including food at the
exactly,
grocery store.
exactly. So you're gonna you're gonna pay one way or another. It's just how they want you to pay it.
Hmm.
So
Well, I'm trying to get
and
Steve to move to Tennessee.
yeah, and it's a possibility. It's a
Yeah.
possibility. The we got two kids there. So
Hmm.
the other place, if we decide to move, uh, might be Oklahoma City. Um, we've lived all over the country, and that was probably our favorite place. It's where the kids spent the majority of their childhoods at. And we still have one daughter that's back there. Uh, the climate is hot in the summer, no doubt about it. Windy, a lot of tornadoes. Anywhere you go, you're going to have some kind of
Hmm.
weather thing. I don't care what weather or other natural risk, earthquakes, fires, whatever the case may be. And so, it's just pick your poison.
Yeah, that 9% tax is. I feel it every time I buy something. You just,
Well,
I can't believe it. But no
most
state
states,
income tax.
that's right. And cost of living in Tennessee is fairly cheap.
Mm. Right now, our
So,
gas is 3.35 a gallon.
yeah.
I was listening to that midweek live stream that Derailed Dale was
Oh,
on.
the Cab Crew Wednesday?
Yeah, and they were saying something like out in California where he's at, gas is like 6.50 a gallon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's outrageous. But what do you expect from California? Uh,
Yep. So,
Mystics at
anyway,
380 in Rhode
John,
Island.
I know you had some mail calls, and I got some
Yes, I
more.
did.
But,
Yeah.
but what do you got?
Well, one little thing I ordered here, it's a one of those grippers, but
Oh yeah.
this isn't one of the KD grippers. So it's nice and short, and I can use it for painting my figures, and I got plenty of them to paint. I'll just clip them onto the feet or foot, depending on how they're set up, and I can, if I can even see to put it in. Don't have my glasses on. There. So now I can
Oh,
hold
mine's
on
on.
to it and just paint it without having to try to hold it and paint at the same time. So it works. I think it was like $7 from uh, Amazon. They had the longer one, and maybe I should have got the longer one, but it works okay. Um, it's not the same quality as the KD grabber or that I have, but yet I don't mind getting paint on this one. Um, I'll keep the good one for working on the engines. And I got the mini prints, which Steve, I know you were going to go over. Just want to to mention one thing. If you've got your pack and you're starting to remove some of the um, bracing that's on there, watch the skeleton guy sitting. I was taking mine
Ah,
apart and the head popped off. I could not I could not find the head. It's down in the carpet someplace. Because
you
it's
know,
real
as you know,
tiny.
mentioning the mini print stuff. You know, I one of my legs came off of, and it's still in here, of the shredder.
Oh, it's a shredder? Oh, okay. It's actually
You
a
didn't get a
chipper.
shredder?
It's a chipper, not a
Chipper,
shredder.
shredder,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. No,
Uh,
I got it. My
I want to
finally.
make. I want to do. I, I want to do a Fargo scene. You know,
Yeah,
take
that's
some
what
cotton
everybody
off
is
the
talking
chute, and,
about. Yeah, I've got mine set
and
up and ready for priming, except my skeleton has no head.
but when Bernard announced these here at the Otter Valley pop-up event, the suggested retail price on these is going to be $29. You know, we pay for the uh, being in the club. You know, mini prints of the month club. We pay $29 a month, which includes shipping. We got this month. We got the shredder. We got a bag full of Halloween stuff. A guy in a coffin. Um, some other stuff. You know, we got a giant spider. I'm going to take the spider and put him on a pole above a building. That's going to be an exterminator's building.
Yeah,
And
that's a
like
good
you say,
idea.
there's a sitting skeleton. I think the other's a bench.
Uh, yeah, the 5 seat. That's like a subway bench or more modern uh,
You know, there's a
train station.
black cat, a guy with a lantern, another creepy guy, half a guy.
It's
So,
it's a dead guy coming out of the ground is what that is. Uh,
oh, coming out of the ground. Okay, because there's
yeah,
another dead guy coming out of the coffin.
yeah, that's a vampire. So
Okay.
I well, I read the. You get a paper with it, and if you read that, it
I know.
tells
I
you
know.
what everything is. Yeah,
I know. I know.
but
Well, I got to get back to painting. I'm stacking back up again. I still
yeah,
got tons and more tons.
I've still got last month's ones that I do have primed and ready to go, but I haven't started
Uh-huh.
painting them yet. I want to try to put window glass in the pickup truck, and I've seen on What's Neat This Week how what's his name,
Mike Buddy.
Mike Buddy
Mike
uses
Buddy.
uses tape, but
Yep.
I think I want to
Scotch
try
tape.
to Scotch tape. Yeah, I still just don't quite understand that, but uh, yeah, I may try cutting out some of the
They make
acetate and
they
put
make,
it in there.
they make a product. I'm trying to find. I've got some. It's a micro clear stuff,
Yeah, that you can
and you
sort
put
of
it
paint
on.
on.
Yeah, you build it up into an opening, and you do your glass that way. I
Yeah,
typically just use cut some acetate and put it in that way.
and that may work on this because these older vehicles, the windows are flat. They're not the contoured like our modern windows are. Um,
Right.
I may be able to get that to work. Um, or I could
You
try
know
some of
this.
that micro clear.
Yeah. This diner, okay, has all the glass in it except for where this door is. I'm just going to
Mm,
put a conductor in that door, because it was not uncommon for a conductor to stand in those doors with the
Mm-hmm.
window down.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. And a lot of times that section of the car was actually open air anyway because it wasn't air conditioned like the rest of the car. Because that's where the
I
pass
didn't
through.
retire. I see Rick's gotten here. Anybody else? High's gotten here.
Hi, hi.
Hey, hi. Heidi ho, hi. Mr. Bailey. They've all joined us. JB's got to leave. JB, Mr. Bannicky, have a good lunch.
Yes.
Hi, huh? Hey, Jack. Hi, huh? That's a good one. That's a new one.
And hi, I hope you got my second email. I sent you from the wrong email to start with, so you should have had a second one from me. But yeah, I enjoy getting the mini prints. Every month you just don't know what you're gonna really get, and that's
Yeah,
fun.
it's a great deal. The issue becomes there's a lot of things I'll probably never use. Right? Like the Halloween stuff. I don't really care. I
Yeah,
don't
but
have room for a Halloween scene. Um,
no,
I
but
might.
uh,
Who knows?
you could just take something and set it there and see if somebody catches it. Like
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
maybe do like a sewer inlet in one of your streets and have the guy coming up out of the sewer inlet.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah. So there's things you can do. I'm
Well,
glad you
we
received it,
got the
Hi.
hot tub. We got the hot tub. We got some lawn chairs, and I'm painting figures. Um, so on the roof of the MP Arms Hotel, I'm going to put a couple promiscuous ladies nude sunbathing up there
Ah, yeah.
in the chairs
Yeah.
and in the hot tub. So
Well, and you still have your bordello trailer up there.
I do. I got some items I want to add to that scene yet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah. That was one I liked. Weren't you going to do a
Okay, Lee, I should
bridge?
be there.
Weren't you going to do a bridge
What?
across to it?
Across the what?
To your trailer bordello?
No, I
No?
got to put a little ladder way. There's no place to put a bridge. Uh, I mean,
I thought you could
without
expand someplace there.
no, it would have to go up and over too high, and it just wouldn't look right. I've
Hmm.
got a pathway. I got to put a ladder up, that goes across to the cornfield back there. Like
Hmm.
you got to walk through the cornfield, to get to it. So it's hidden. That's the way the storyline goes anyway.
Yeah. So I did get.
All right, so
Uh,
Jack Jack's got visitors coming to play operations time at Jack Jack's.
I did get a rather.
That's
Go ahead.
a thought there, Rick. I can put them in the uh, window decorations when I build Downers Grove here.
Hmm.
So that's an idea, yeah. Because we still have some glow in the dark ghosts I haven't used and some other stuff. So
Hmm. Yeah. So
hey, I think we all need to hop in our cars or on a plane and go to Jack Jack's.
yeah.
Party at Jack Jack's.
Where's he at?
He's in Texas.
Oh, okay. Okay.
East, east or southeast of, east or southeast of Dallas. So, I
Yeah.
wish I would have known him when I lived back there. He and Robert both.
Hmm.
So what else did you get, John?
Oh, I got a rather large purchase on eBay. Um,
Uh huh.
and yeah, it was a large purchase. So, first one is a nice CNEI F3. And I'll take it out of the box.
Oh, Intermountain.
Yeah, Intermountain, and it is DCC. Um, and actually, the sound comes on just under DC, which I hadn't seen before. But yeah, this will be my second CNEI F3. So I'm gonna have to renumber this one
Cool.
because, of course, the other one's the exact same number, and it's very lightly used. So the couplers, I do not think are Kadees. I think it's the knockoff ones, which so I'll have to
Yeah,
replace
there's all
place
different
them.
kinds.
So yeah, I enjoyed finding that because that's kind of a rarity to find those online like that. And
Yeah,
uh,
John Schuylkill River says nice F3, John.
yes, thank you, John. You know, and it didn't stop there either. So the next one is an Atherogenesis, and it's a GP7/9. This is more of a 9. Can't tell the difference, just
Uh
a
huh.
different motor in it. Um, but this one is also DCC, and unpack it. And it was good because it even has the original warranty card in it from
Cool.
all the paperwork's here, so that's always good. It did have one of the window shades had fallen off, but they always put it in a bag. Now I do have other GP9s, but so I'll
Uh,
probably have
Jack, you're in line behind me.
uh,
Jack
most
Jack
like.
says it's not cool unless you. Jack says it's not cool unless you send it to him to put on his lap.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah,
Uh,
I've got quite a few GP7/9, so this one will have to be renumbered, but it's runs nice on
and I
my.
told Jack he's got to stand in line behind me because I get all your extra stuff.
Yeah, that's true. You do. I still have some extra stuff to send you, by the way. And then my
Cool.
third and final um, purchase was looking at this, another GP7 Atherin Genesis, and it is a different number. Um,
Oh, that's good.
so it looks the same as the other one, just a different number. And I don't think I have to renumber this one because I don't think I had a 237. I have to look in my
Well, that's
list.
pretty good. An Intermountain and two Genesis.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a nice haul, I think. Of course, my credit card didn't
but
like
you
it
don't have any
much.
money because you're. But you don't
Uh,
have any money because you're unemployed.
yeah, I'm well, I'll tell you, I ordered them before I knew I was unemployed again. So I'm gonna have to, almost have my credit card paid down, and then got unemployed, and yeah, that doesn't help much. But anyway, I find engines, and I have to buy them. Um, there's no
Yep.
choice because they are so rare. It's not like finding a Santa Fe or any of those.
Jack says just give your card a massage. It'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'll make it. I do like not working. Um, but that was my big purchase. It's not cheap buying 3 engines, especially when they're Intermountain and
quality
Tab.
engines at that.
Yeah, yeah. It's I gotta say, just about all my engines are pretty good quality, except for some of the older ones. But you know what? I still like my old Stewart engines. Um, Actually, the last one I had purchased prior to these was a. In fact, I got it right here. That's a Stewart VO 660. So it's
Cool.
pretty good quality. Nice handrails on it,
Does
and
that is it sound?
no, this one's just DC at the moment. But
Okay.
I've got another one of
Wonder if it
these.
had that rumble.
No, I've got another one of these that I've already put sound in, so I know I can do it. It's very tight in there, but it does work. Yes, and I've got two of the VO 660s now. The only problem is the CNEI only had one. I don't. Who other
Woo.
than me knows that? So they run nice. So selling brass locals for $29.98. Man,
I think
just a
anything being
second.
sold on Facebook, JD's a scam. Well, that's just me. I've had I stopped because I had a couple bad experiences. I bought a couple of supposedly radio controlled tanks for my two nephews, grandnephews, and they were nothing like what was advertised. Nothing. And they were POS, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I ordered some shirts, some alma mater shirts, and they were cheap ass things as well. Uh, you know. So anyway,
Yeah.
always remember you get what you pay for.
That is true. That is true. I got to go help my son for a second, so I'll be right back.
Not a problem. Not a problem. So, like I said, I've been staying busy working on these lighting going on. I think I talked about it last week where I decided not to put interiors in these cars. All right. Uh, Between lighting and interiors and people, I would end up putting more into the cars than what the cars were worth. So I'm opting not to do that. But like I do on my buildings, I'm going to frost them, so to speak, with a matte finish on the windows. Okay? In other words, light will permeate out of them, and the windows will light up. Actually, probably show up better with less lighting itself coming out and showing up on backboards, etc. Um, so that's the game plan in that arena. But there's one train that is kind of, I'll say, unique in that it wasn't clear glass to begin with. The California Zephyr, or let's put all of the Burlington Zephyrs in the 50s, I think, I believe, and even the commuter cars had green glass to help filter sunlight. It was like having the glass be sunglasses. Okay, and so I'm gonna treat the windows on the California Zephyr and make them green. Now, there's a couple ways I can do that. On the windows on the side, I can just buy some green acetate, what they call light film, in the green tone and put that across the windows, right? And that'll uh, solve that issue. Except, mind you, for the dome. All right. And dome cars, because they're domed, um, unless you want to flat panel each and every little window in that dome, um, it's going to be a pain. In the but
Maybe
so what I've done,
maybe some of the crystal clear would work.
or what I've done is what I have in this box. Huh. I wonder what that could be. Figure out how this box opens. And an airbag. All right. What I got is some Tamiya or Tamiya. Pick your pronunciation. Translucent green rattle can paint.
Yep, that's what I was.
So I am going to put that on the dome car, and then once it sets, I still will add some matte finish, so they can't still see through the translucent green paint.
Yeah, that should
That's
work.
my solution. That I'm going to use. I still want to order some of the green film to do the side windows. Now, I haven't looked up to see whether the Super Chiefs were done in green glass or any of the others, so I'll have to look that up as well.
Yeah, that translucent paint works real well. I had a '86 Suzuki Samurai where the red taillights had faded to clear, and I sprayed some of that translucent on the inside of them. It worked great. Looked like brand new taillights.
Cool.
And it was the
cool.
Tamiya, however you say it.
Yeah, I who knows what the actual pronunciation is. Japanese to English is the translation is weird all the time. I know in the koi hobby, because if you have a Japanese person translate it, it's going to be different than if you have an American translated, because how letters are pronounced themselves are different.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets confusing, or can be. Well, trains are running good today, John. Of course, I haven't thrown any switches either. So.
Well, that's good. Don't touch any.
Good. And it's not throwing the switches that causes the problem. It's not throwing switches when they need to be. That's the problem.
Okay. Yeah, I do like these.
Hey, I got a question for.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I got a question for High. He had a video out on using Arduino to do a back and forth track, similar to what a Motorman does.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering how long it took him to do it, and what all the component pieces cost. And he may have said it in the video, and I missed it. I'm not sure. Because I want to do a comparison. A Motorman, when I bought mine, were $100 a pop, and that included two of the infrared sensors. Now I had to buy 2 extra sensors for one of them, the trolley line, because there's intermediate stops there. But JD wants to know if we're going to break last week's record of what was
It
it,
all
102,
100
103 minutes? 1 hour
100
and 2 minutes? No,
1 hour.
100.
Yeah,
It's
no,
an
it's one
hour and
hour
two.
and 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I have it written down here someplace. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It probably all
So
depends on
anyway,
how
I was
long
wondering.
you stay on.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that cost comparison was and how. On the Motorman, you got the screen that you do all the optional programming stuff on the fly there compared to what the Arduino is. Now I know people that are familiar with Arduinos are simple and they can program and do all that kind of stuff. I'm a dummy when it comes to that. Yeah, Jack. Last week, let's put it this way. As John will attest to, since he's been to the layout and we've done operations together here, I have a bad habit. I'm a terrible conductor. I'm terrible. All right, because I will get so busy doing one thing that I'll forget and leave a switch in the wrong direction. Okay, and sure as hell we'll hit the switch and have a derailment. So you know, I've worked out all the kinks and all the track, and it all works great. Uh, but I still will have the derailment simply because I don't throw a switch where it needs to be thrown. And anybody could say, "Oh, you need lights, you need this, you need that." No, I'm just a terrible conductor that doesn't look at the indication because I got a screen over here that shows me the position of the turnouts. I have a screen over here that shows me the position of the turnouts. I have a screen in front of me that shows the position of the turnouts. I have a pad, that I can walk with that has, and they all have the ability to throw it. It's all electronic, VCC, but I just don't do it. So I get busy. And most of the time, it's because I'm trying to run or do too many things at one time. Like I'll try to be running 5 trains. Now, that may not be a problem on some layouts, but this layout's very condensed. This is a 9 by 22 inch room, and there's 77 turnouts. Okay, so yeah, I'm just bad. I try to do too much at one time, and then when one thing happens, I'll get flustered and work on correcting that, and I'll forget to do something somewhere else. And another thing will happen. things just go to shit in a hurry.
Yep.
And Jack says, "Here's an idea. Look up a lot." Yeah. Yeah. Well, that could be the case. I won't say that's not it. Well, Jack, I have a pad, all right, and I can bring up my computer screen with the window of all the electronic uh, switches, and I can throw the switches on the pad. Okay, so it's not a matter of looking up or looking down because I can look in any direction and it's in front of me. All right, but it's a matter of whether I'm looking at one of those, all right, or not, and like I said, I'm just a bad conductor. I tried to make the layout fail safe, and I probably, for most people, probably succeeded. But for me, it's me. It can be considered an epic fail.
Yeah.
That's why I don't. If I just let them run, they're fine. Or if I'm doing operations, they're fine because I'm working one train, right? And I may have another train running on a different set of tracks. It doesn't interfere. And like when John was here, John would be running the train. I'd be acting as conductor, but I would also be explaining things to John as we're going, and then I'd lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing, and boom, bingo, bango, bongo, there we go again. Jack says he's not. He do the same thing every once in a while. No, the whole package. So the whole thing would be a total of about $20. That's fair enough. Yeah, Kyle, I won't argue with that. I didn't dummy proof myself. So there's a lot of things about the layout I like, and one of the biggest things I like about the layout is how I have the double reversing. They're not really loops; they're Ys. You take reversing Ys and then tie them together. I love that. You like a reverse whole train. As a matter of fact, one day, one of the early times when John was over, I set the switches and reversed his train, and all of a sudden it comes back to him. Hey, this is going the other way. What happened? And John hadn't comprehended the intricacies of the layout at that point in time, and it was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I remember that. I remember when I had my Engage layout, and it was when I was in Texas. So it was in the little dining room of our apartment, and I put a Y in. But at that time, all I could do is, remember the old Atlas directional switches you could use?
Right.
I had to have one of them set up to change the polarity of that particular
Yeah.
section.
They had and they called them different things. Like the green ones was the selector, and that all that was used for is to shut down a section of track.
Right.
Okay? Like if you had an engine yard, and you wanted to isolate the tracks, that's what that one's done. The controller were the red ones, and those were basically double pull, double throws.
Right.
And those are the ones you would use to do the reverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what? I sometimes wonder whatever happened to my Engage
Mystic,
stuff.
Mystic, I'm right there with you. High said it took him 15 minutes to do the programming on his Arduino, and Mystic said, on his conversion chart, the 15 minutes be 15 weeks, and I'm on the same conversion chart as Mystic. So.
Oh, me too. Me too. I watch. I try to watch a lot of the Arduino stuff, but look, I was never into programming in the first place, and I know there's a lot of the scripts that you can get online to download into your Arduino, but look, I'm just barely doing DCC, so take me forever.
Here, I'm not bad at programming. Okay, I just don't want to. I'm sure I could learn how to program Arduinos. All right? I just don't want to. I'd rather buy something out of the box. I got so many other projects, all right, that I'm not getting to. The last thing I need is an Arduino. At some point in time, will I tackle it? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm having too much fun on all this other stuff. Like I'm enjoying lighting these Athens cars up.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed putting in the auto reverser circuit, the AR1. I enjoyed it once I figured out what was wrong. And it wasn't really wrong, it just wasn't right.
So now,
the trip voltage on the
here's a question for you, Steve.
The trip voltage on the PM42s was set wrong. Okay.
What are you going to do when you move?
That's if we move.
If you move? Well, yeah, yeah.
We would,
You can always find a house with a big
uh,
basement for a train room.
basements are few and far between in Tennessee and Oklahoma City. So
Hmm. Well, no,
it'd
I
be likely.
found several up here where I'm at. Um, they weren't in the area I wanted, but there were some up here. One had a real nice basement. It was the size of the house above it and just open and available to use.
Well, what's more common is due to the terrain in the hills, the main floor will be at ground level in front,
Right,
and the basement's still at ground level on the backside. Typically,
right, correct. Yeah.
that's not
Mm.
that's not what I would totally consider a basement. That's not what I grew up calling a basement. So it would work. Don't get me wrong. That
Yeah.
would work.
Mhm. Um,
Ray says he has a hard enough time programming a local, let alone track.
yep. Yep, that is true.
Yeah, well, Hi, you are very, very, very talented in that regard. Now, for those that don't know, Hi took a DC layout or section layout, and did the programming to, how DCC puts chips in the locomotive that controls the locomotive. Okay, DC is your power patch controlling the track. DCC, you're controlling the locomotive. Well, what Hi's done is he's got a hybrid of those two. He sectionalized his track and computerized those sections,
Mm.
and basically made his sections of track, different sections of track, um, a form of DCC. All right. In other words, his locos are still DC, and instead of using one power pack to control it, it's all computerized, and the computer will control the throttle as the block detection picks up where the local, or where the power draw is actually at from the locomotive. And so he's made a hybrid system. Um, and it's pretty cool, and it's an interesting story. If you go back and watch his older videos, like a year ago, maybe longer, um, you can watch how he's done that. It's very, very cool. And no, I don't have that kind of talent. Yes, you. Hi says he's not talented. I don't know anybody else that's done that. I wouldn't even have a dream of doing that. So, let alone accomplishment. Raisins can't say Armaduino.
Uh,
That's a good Armaduino. That is good. I have to remember that. Armaduino. CTI does that for DC and DCC. I guess I'd have to look more into what CTI is, Jacket.
hey, stop that.
Oh, it's a monster cat.
Yeah, he's a pain.
All right, Anthony, have a great lunch. Remember, everybody, Anthony Dodge at 3:30 Eastern Time. He's got his new railjet, Roco. It's a Roco
Mm.
railjet.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had to put one of my cats down Monday. It was my wife's cat.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Can you see how long?
We're
Can
an
you see how
hour
long
and
we've been
10,
live?
5 minutes, 12 seconds, 13,
Yeah,
14. So new record is ticking off second by second.
that's right. Simply because I haven't thrown one switch.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
You know what you call a dead Armaduino on the side of the road, Ray? Possum on the half shell.
Hmm. I used to like the commercials for Lone Star Beer, the national beer of Texas.
Love to put, oh,
They always had
those are hysterical.
the giant armadillo attacking the beer trucks. Yeah, I love
Yep,
those.
yep. Back in the
Those are
late 70s, early 80s, it was
yes,
a great ad campaign. Lone Star Beer, love the party. I know when they came into the Iowa market, just about right about 1980, and uh, started with some very ingenious advertising, and the college kids at Iowa State, where I was in school at the time, went nuts over. Of course, I'd been drinking Lone Star beer for 8 years prior. Because my brother was going to school, went to school at Baylor. I used to go down to visit him. Hell, the only thing we drank was Lone Star or Pearl. Nowadays, the big Texas beer, of course, is Shiner Bach. Uh-oh, Jack accidentally killed the live feed. You know, if you're just sitting around, you're working on your layout, and uh, you know, you're really not doing anything, and you want some additional entertainment, turn on Jack's live feed. Okay, as you get as you're looking around, you check your TV or whatever, your computer, and you know, you got some entertainment from Jack's live feed, and it gives him that viewership. So I will do that on occasion. There was one night, I forget who all was. I turned it on one night. I ended up talking with, I think, Roy, not Container Man, Roy out in California. Uh, anyway, he and I ended up, and somebody else ended up talking for 3 hours or something as we watched uh, Jack's live stream. Well, thank you, Lee. Appreciate that. So, has anybody got any big plans this weekend? Any big train shows this weekend? God, I hadn't been to a train show. It's been, I guess, the last train show I went to was the Real Rails down in Bradenton, at the Bradenton area convention center, which is one of the bigger ones down here. John, I don't know if you ever went to it or not.
no, I always missed it.
Uh, that's probably my favorite. It's easy for me to get to as opposed to uh, the Real Rails over by Zitnik's. The advantage of going to that or even the Suncoast show
Yeah,
is you got Zitnik's you can go
yeah,
to.
right. Yeah. Another good thing, which I think is coming up in November, Steve, for you, would be the Zitnik's sidewalk sale on or
Right.
parking lot
Have you given
swap meet.
much? Grandpa Rail says there's a train show next weekend. Jack, hush, man, you can't go. Yeah, Lee, I heard. I'll be there. I should be there on Sunday, Lee. Appreciate it. Um, you know, I should probably wrap this up, John, and quit while we're ahead. You know, we're
Yes.
at almost a minute. An hour and 10. We'll
Yeah.
call the new record an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
and now that, as everybody used to watch Heath to see if blue smoke was going to pop, everybody watches to see how long I can make it without screwing up,
Mm-hmm.
just in a different fashion. So,
Yep. Very good.
High's working on a fence between him and his neighbor.
Yep. That's how you have a good neighbor. Have a fence in between you.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Now, this is not a derailment. It is simply that my Santa Fe Super Chief came unhitched, uncoupled.
Oh well. Okay. We have to stop it at 1 hour
Why? It's not.
11 minutes. Well. Eventually
Why?
you're gonna
It's
run
not a.
into the back of your train and probably derail.
No,
No.
I caught it.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. This is my daughter's cat
Nothing is.
that's in the Netherlands.
Nothing. Nothing came off the rails, so we're still alive. But we're still just going to call it 1 hour and 10 minutes. So,
Okay.
hey, folks, with that, we're going to wrap it up. And John, thanks for joining me today, as
Yep.
always. And
Well, see, the cat
everybody
just
have a
left.
great weekend.
Yep. You all take care.
Everybody have a great weekend. And
And
happy railroading.
take care, all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye now.